In this video, you'll learn this. Or this. This is a Flume Pika remix I've made. If you didn't hear this song, you can check out this in the first link in the description. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna insert a MIDI clip and put a Serum here. And now we're gonna automate the level of the first oscillator with LFO1. We're gonna draw a shape kind of like this. Let's actually drag the chords here, see how it sounds like. Yeah, so basically the waveform I was using was the basic shapes square wave, this one. So this is the first oscillator. I put this one octave down, but you can do it in the MIDI clip. You can just transpose this one octave down and you'll get the same effect. But I did this in oscillator section, so I'm gonna add another oscillator, which will be a saw wave. We're gonna push the unisono to all the way up and reduce the detune a little bit, and also the octave height. So now we have to automate also the level of the second oscillator, kind of like this, not all the way up, because we don't want this to be very kind of detuned. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go into effects section and we're gonna add hyper dimension. Let's turn off the hyper and reduce the size and push the mix button, the mix knob all the way up. So it's much wider. And now we're gonna add chorus as a second effect. We're gonna reduce the rate. Let's compare before. Let's set this like this, and let's compare before we push the rate all the way down. Okay, we're gonna automate the low pass filter here. Now I'm gonna add a compression. So we're gonna push the release to make this more dynamic, and also we will use a multiband compression instead of just normal one. And we're gonna push the gain very high because after we add the distortion, we're gonna lose some volume. So let's also decrease the highs on a compressor, like here. Yeah, and after we add distortion, you'll hear why. So let's do something like this. So we don't want to crush this like that. We're gonna use LFO1 to just automate this like this, and we're not gonna push the mix all the way up. We're gonna leave this around here. So here's something like this. The last thing, we're gonna add a low pass filter. We're gonna set the cutoff to around here. Gonna use LFO1 to modulate the cutoff and also push the mix a little bit down. That's basically how it sounds like. Also, you may hear that this is not dynamic as it should be. Like, it is kind of compressed, the LFO shape. It's not automating like the whole signal because of the effects and stuff. So we're gonna do a little trick. I'm gonna open a matrix here and we're gonna choose as a source, we're gonna choose LFO1, which is our volume automation line. And we're gonna automate the global amplifier. So this is kind of like if you put an external LFO tool on this or automate the volume of the whole signal. It's not in 100% the same, but it gives that more dynamic stuff. So with this and without. Much better, right? Now we are gonna make movement. So these automations here. We're gonna use macro 1 to automate the rate of the LFO, to make this transition between the normal speed and the double speed. We're just gonna copy this and paste it here. Okay, now we're gonna click this button and let's check if that works. So it doesn't work. So if you have this kind of problem when you like automate the one macro and you try to make automation to another macro and it just disappears, and what's happening here, this is very annoying. So I found a solution. All you have to do is just go here, click this button and click configure. And now you're just gonna click this and this, and the macro one will appear. So now we can just click here, this, and add a automation line. And when we click another button, as you can see, another macro appeared. So now we can copy this automation and paste here without any problems. Yeah, everything works, as you can see. So the second macro will make this kind of from stereo to mono effect. And we are gonna do this by automating a couple of things in effect section. Basically the chorus mix, because mostly the chorus is responsible for this kind of stereo widen effect. Also, as you can hear, when it starts to playing this, the volume automation isn't that strong here. So we have to modulate these level knobs, and also the filter here, the filter cutoff. It works perfectly. Identically, it's... wait, oh. Okay, so this is our sound, that was a preview. Anyway. Yeah, but it's the same. We're just gonna go and copy these effects, which is OTT and EQ. And we made, I guess, identically the same sound. And I'm gonna go right now and show you how I made this one. So we're gonna just duplicate this layer. And we're gonna change a bunch of things. Basically the waveform to the saw wave. We're gonna push this 1 octave up and this by 2 octaves. And we're gonna decrease the unison. Actually, we're gonna turn this off. And now we will go to effects section. And in macro 2, we're gonna put this on the filter drive knob. And we're gonna put this also on hyperdimension. And I'm gonna delete this macro 2 from here. And let's put the same effects on, wait, not this one, these here. Okay, so this is how it sounds like. And the last thing is the bass. You may ask me how I made this. So actually I didn't. This is the bass from VR Sound, and this is the best bass I've ever used, and it just works perfectly for any Supersaws.